What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 4 in my monthly series where I review my dividend stock picks of the month from a year ago. So many YouTubers have stock pick videos where they present their opinions or on certain stocks or certain funds and why you should buy them. But there's usually no follow-up, right? Were they right? Were they wrong? We don't really know in most cases. That is why I decided personally that it would be fair to all my viewers to revisit my old stock picks to actually find out if they were good picks or not. So in this video, I will go back and revisit my stock picks of the month from a year ago and check out how the stock or fund is doing right now, 1 year later. So it's time to review my stock picks for the month of July 2020. I will not only check the share price, but also the status of the dividend or distribution, which is even more important for us passive income focused investors. Was I right? Was I wrong? Let's find out together. All right, guys, July 2020 picks of the month. Let's check them out. Pick number 1, the BMO Canadian High Dividend Covered Call ETF. So this, like we all know, it's one of our favorites, right? It's a portfolio of about 35 Canadian blue chip dividend paying stocks. So at the time of the selection, it was trading at 14.72, which you would get a yield of 8.97. So my reasoning and takeaways: very attractive dividend yield for a sector diversified ETF, pretty obvious. You really have the best dividend paying companies in Canada with ZWC. The distributions have increased every year since the ETF's inception without missing a single payment. Is that still the case now? We'll check the report card later on, because for this one, the last month, there was actually a reduction. So we'll check it out. So investing in this ETF almost gives you a 9% annual yield. So it's really a no-brainer. It has the legendary Big Six Canadian banks. It has other legends like Enbridge, TC Energy in the energy space, insurance space, Sun Life, Manulife, and the telecom space, Bell, Intellis, and Rogers. So this is why I really love this ETF. It has the best Canadian companies all in one. Number 2 is also a covered call ETF from BMO. It's the covered call US Banks ETF. So ZWK is the stock symbol, and at the pick date it was $20.90, which was giving you a really great yield of 10.33%. Really high for a BMO covered call ETF, which are typically a little bit more conservative. So this is really a portfolio of the biggest blue chip dividend paying US banks, and of course covered call, it uses is in the name, right? So it uses a covered call strategy. So my reasoning and takeaway: no surprise, US bank stocks are at a steep discount because of COVID-19. Keep in mind, these are picks from a year ago, right, when COVID-19 was wreaking havoc on the stock market. So I also wrote US banks are a safer investment post the 2008 financial crisis. Also, this fund had 4 dividend increases in less than 2 years without missing a single payment, which is absolutely incredible for a BMO ETF, cover call ETF, which tend to be relatively stable. And what I wrote here is the reason to justify my second point, right, that US banks are safer post 2008 financial crisis. We all know that thanks to Mr. Obama, he enacted the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, which was passed because of what happened to the banks in 2008. They crashed because they were way over leveraged. So because of this new piece of legislation in the US, banks are basically capped. They can't take as much leverage as they can, so they're much less risky. So that was my justification there. Pick number 3, this is a single REIT on the Canadian stock market, ProREIT, PRV.UN. So the stock price at the time of the selection was 4.26, which was giving you a 10.56% yield. So this is a smaller Canadian REIT that focuses on commercial property. So it has industrial, office, and retail, and it was founded in 2013 and has properties across 9 provinces with a strong focus on Eastern and Central Canada. So my reasoning and takeaway for this one: this REIT actually was on the TSX Venture and it graduated to the TSX in mid-2019, which is great, gives it a little bit more credibility. Many of their retail tenants, so they have a lot of retail properties, but a lot of their retail tenants are essential services. So pharmacies and banks and things like that. The yield is over 10%, which obviously is incredible. And that's even with, they had reduced their dividend 30%, and the yield was 10%, even with that reduction, which is really, really good sign, a really good entry point for income hungry and value hungry investors. Many commercial REITs, like we know back in 2020, took a huge hit because of COVID-19. Everyone freaked out because offices closed and retail closed. But for this pick, I wrote, I highly doubt a further dividend decrease will occur, making this a heavily discounted REIT with 10% yield, perfect entry point for investors. It turns out I was right, but we'll check out the report card in just a second. Fourth pick, this is the last pick. Alaris Royalty, stock symbol AD. So the time of the selection, it was trading at $12.17. So you would get a yield of 9.53. So this is really a royalty company. They provide financing solutions to private companies in North America, and in exchange, they receive a monthly stream of royalties or cash distributions, which they give to us, the investors, via dividends and distributions. So their goal is really to continue to diversify and help and invest in other private businesses to increase those royalty streams. So my reasoning and takeaway, the company's objective is to provide dividends to shareholders. That's always a good sign as a dividend or an income investor. They did recently reduce their dividend at that time that I made the selection, 30% as a precaution. And they also switched their dividend payout from monthly to quarterly. So the yield after the dividend reduction was still over 9%. So just like the REIT selection, I thought it was a really good entry point for investors. So how did the funds do? How did my stock picks do? Well, let's find out. Let's check out the report card. All right, guys, here is the report card for July 2020. How did my funds do? Was I right? Was I wrong? Well, let's check out the latest stock prices. So ZWC is currently at $18.19, an increase of 23.57% within a year. Absolutely great pick. In terms of the dividend, is it unchanged? I put unchanged question mark because just this month they reduced the monthly dividend from 11 cents to 10 cents. But from looking at the past distributions for all BMO ETFs, they're not 100% consistent. So will it permanently be 10 cents a month? I'm not sure. I think this might be a temporary hiccup and it might go back to 11 cents a month next year. So we'll have to wait and see. That's why I put unchanged with a question mark. So we'll have to wait and see. Pick number 2, ZWK. This was a phenomenal pick. It's at $29.98. So US banks, like we know, recovered in the last year tremendously. So you would have had a 48.49 and almost 50% rather, capital gain, which is absolutely incredible on this ETF. I also love the fact that they have not changed their dividend. They have not missed any dividend. So perfect pick. Pro REIT, also great pick. This was definitely the pick of the month, the best one, because it went from 426 to 695 right now. It's 63% increase or capital gain, which is absolutely incredible. And the best news of all is that the dividend has remained unchanged, and no misses as well. Alaris Royalty Corporation, also a great pick, $16.95 right now, so it went up 39%. But the best news is they actually raised their dividend. So they had slashed it 30%, but they to $1.16, but they actually raised it to $1.24. So it's been $1.24 annually for the last couple of quarterly dividends with no misses. So absolutely phenomenal pick. So there you go, guys. Here's a report card. I would have to say A+ for me on this month. As always, please support me, guys. Please support this channel by hitting the like button. It's free for you. It helps the channel grow, so it's a win-win. Also, make sure to visit our website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, where you could access my digital product, the Ultimate Dividend Passive Income Investing Package, which is all my years of research put into spreadsheets. I also have sample portfolios for Canadians, sample portfolios for Americans. So it's a really good product for both Canadians and Americans as well. and it comes with lifetime updates. So you only need to purchase it once. If I'm on version 2 and I'm working on version 3 right now, so when version 3 comes out, you will have access to it for free, even if it goes up in price. I'm just saying. So on my website, you could also book a one-on-one video consultation with me personally if ever you want to ask me a million questions, help you build a portfolio, modify an existing portfolio, whatever it is. I love helping people. I love doing this consultation service. I've done over 100 and I really like it. Unfortunately, I'm completely booked until August, so I will let you guys know in the next couple of weeks when the August appointments will open up. I'm getting bombarded with emails saying, please accommodate me. I need to do a one-on-one with you. I can't accommodate everyone. I gotta manage my time, but I will try to make a lot more appointments available in August. So stay tuned, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I will keep doing the consultations. Don't worry about that. Of course, guys, make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on my future content on passive income investing. It's all designed to really help regular investors like me and you invest for passive income. I also do a monthly survey where you, the viewers, can choose what topic I cover next. So all you need to do in order to be able to vote is to be subscribed. Also, we're on social media, guys. We're on Instagram. We have a Facebook group that's growing. It's over 1,600 members now, which is great. So make sure to join us on those social media platforms if you use them. And of course, the mission of this channel, my mission remains the same, guys, and will always remain the same. It's to help everyday working people to invest on their own so you can build your own stream of passive income to enhance your quality of life and eventually become financially independent. So with that, guys, take care, stay safe, and see you next time.